My daughter cut me off after the divorce, but then I found out what my ex had done. I saved $80,000 for my daughter's college. But after the divorce, she cut me off completely. No calls, no visits, nothing. Part 1. My daughter cut me off after the divorce. Then I learned the sick truth my ex was hiding. I'm a 45-year-old father of a 17-year-old daughter, and until recently, I thought I had completely lost her. 3 years ago, my wife and I divorced. It wasn't civil. It wasn't kind. And while we agreed on a custody arrangement, she ended up with primary custody. I had weekends and breaks. I paid child support. On time. Every time. And I kept putting away money for my daughter's future. Over $80,000 now. All saved with the promise. This is for your college. I'll take care of it. For a while, it worked. My daughter and I had a decent relationship. We'd hang out, grab dinner, watch movies. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. She used to look up at me with the same eyes she had when she was little, the kind that said, "I trust you, Dad." But then one day, just like that, she stopped coming. No fight, no blow-up, no screaming matches. She just told me she didn't want to come over anymore. She wanted to stay at her mom's full-time. At first, I thought maybe it was school stress or teenage moodiness. I gave her space. I kept texting, calling. Sometimes she'd reply with a one-word message. Usually nothing. Eventually, I asked her about college, trying to reconnect through the future we used to talk about. I said, "I've saved for this your whole life. Wherever you want to go, I'll help you." She was cold. Flat. She said she didn't want my help. That she'd figure it out on her own. Like I was a stranger. That conversation hurt in a way I didn't know I could still hurt. It wasn't just rejection. It was like watching the bridge burn while I stood on it. And then I started hearing whispers from people close to her. That my ex had been blaming everything on me. That she'd been telling our daughter the divorce was my fault. That I destroyed the family. That I abandoned them. And that I had a new girlfriend lined up the whole time. None of that was true. I started dating someone about a year after the divorce. It wasn't quick. It wasn't planned. It just happened. And now, we're expecting a baby together. I wondered if maybe my daughter felt replaced. That she believed what her mom told her. That I was moving on, starting fresh without her. I tried everything. I called. I texted. I even suggested family counseling. My ex refused. Said my daughter didn't want to talk. That I was just trying to buy her affection. Even when I texted my daughter directly, offering therapy, telling her I loved her, that I'd wait as long as she needed, I got nothing. Sometimes a scene. Most often, silence. Still, I didn't touch the college money. It just sat there, untouched, waiting. A promise, even if no one was listening. But then came the breaking point. I had sent my daughter letters, cards, gifts, a necklace with her birthstone, a birthday card with a $200 gift card to her favorite store. No response. I assumed she was ignoring me. It hurt, but I told myself maybe one day she'd come around. Then one day, my mother, my daughter's grandma, mentioned she'd spoken to her for her birthday. Just a quick call. I asked, did she mention the card I sent? My mom said, "What card?" That's when the alarm bells went off. My daughter hadn't received it. She didn't know I'd sent anything. So, I ran a little experiment. I wrote another letter. Just a note saying I loved her, hoped she was doing okay, and that I missed her. I gave the sealed envelope to a friend's son who goes to her high school. Told him to hand it to her personally. And guess what? That night, for the first time in months, I got a text from my daughter. "Did you really send me a necklace and a gift card?" I told her yes. That I'd sent letters, gifts, and never heard back. She replied, "I never got any of that." Then she said something that made my heart crack and heal at the same time. "I believe you." She also admitted that I'd been blocked on her phone, but not by her. Somehow, my number was blocked and she didn't know when or how. I can only guess who might have done it. That night, she probably confronted her mom. The next day, I got a call from my ex-wife. She was furious. "You went behind my back?" she screamed. "You're trying to manipulate her? Turn her against me." I stayed calm. I said, "I only did that because you weren't passing on my messages. And I know you've been hiding the gifts I sent." She denied it. Said they must have gotten lost in the mail. I told her I had tracking. I knew the package was delivered. Then she changed tactics. "You're making me out to be the villain." I didn't need to say anything. She already did that herself. I didn't hear from my daughter again for a few days. I assumed there were fireworks at home. Maybe she was trying to understand how much had been kept from her. Then she called. Not a text, a call. We talked for over an hour. She cried. I cried. And for the first time in forever, we actually talked. She told me how she felt manipulated. How her mom had been feeding her a story about me, the divorce, my girlfriend, all designed to twist her view of me. She admitted that for a while, she really believed it. That I had someone lined up during the marriage. That I left them to start fresh with someone younger. That the baby was proof I didn't care. But now, she didn't know what to believe anymore. I told her the truth. That I never cheated. That I didn't meet my girlfriend until after the divorce. That I'd always loved her and never stopped trying to stay in her life. She said, I thought you left me, too. I swear, I couldn't even speak for a minute. I just sat there, trying not to completely lose it. Because that's every dad's worst nightmare. To be seen as the one who gave up. She asked about the baby. So, you're really having a new kid? I said yes, and that it didn't change how I felt about her. That she'll always be my daughter, my family, my priority. She was quiet, but then she said something small. Something that made me feel like maybe, just maybe, there was still a bridge to rebuild. That's a lot to process. But thank you for telling me. I saved $80,000 for my daughter's future, but after everything, should I still give it to her? A few days after that emotional call, we finally saw each other. My daughter came over for lunch. Just the two of us. No pressure. No big agenda. I kept things light. We talked about school, her friends, music. There were moments of silence, but they weren't uncomfortable. They were healing. It had been almost a year since she'd last stepped into my house. And now she was here, sitting at my kitchen table, drinking iced tea like it was the most normal thing in the world. I didn't push any heavy topics. I let the moment be what it was, fragile, but real. But as she was getting ready to leave, I knew I had to bring it up. Not for control, not for guilt, but because time was running out. College applications, financial aid, decisions. I asked her gently, have you thought more about school? About what comes next? She looked unsure but nodded. Said she'd been accepted to a couple of schools already, waiting on others. I'm really proud of you, I said. Then, carefully, I added, I want you to know the offer still stands. The money I saved, it's for you. For school. No strings. No expectations. Just what I always promised. She went quiet, then said, it's weird now. I feel like I don't deserve it. That hit hard. I asked, why would you say that? She looked at her hands and said, because I pushed you away. For so long. I said awful things. I believed awful things. Mom was planning to help with loans and stuff. I figured we'd manage without you. I reached across the table. Sweetheart, you don't owe me anything for this. You deserve a future. And you shouldn't have to go into debt to get it just because of what happened between us. Or between your mom and me. She didn't answer. But she didn't pull away, either. I added, if you want the help, it's there. If you don't, I understand. I just don't want pride, or hurt, or the past to cost you your future. She nodded slowly. Can I think about it? Of course, I said. Take all the time you need. And she left. No hug that time. But she looked back at the door before closing it. That was enough for me. After that meeting, I thought a lot. Not just about the money, but about everything. I had saved that $80,000 for her since she was born. Little by little. Bonus after bonus. Sacrificing things I wanted so she wouldn't have to. But after 3 years of emotional exile, I couldn't ignore how much damage had been done. Not just to our relationship, but to me. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want to use the money as leverage. But I also didn't want to be blindsided again. I had another child on the way now. A second chance at being a dad. And that child would need things too. A future, just like my daughter did. So I made a decision. I moved most of the college fund into a new account. Part into a high-yield savings account. Part into an index fund. It's now earmarked for both of my kids. But I left a portion, a sizable one, untouched. Still in her name. Still ready to be used, if she wanted it. I didn't tell her I did this. Because for her, nothing has changed. As far as she knows, the full offer still stands. But for me, this was about balance. About emotional safety. About preparing for all outcomes. I wasn't closing the door. But I wasn't leaving it wide open to be slammed shut again either. And then, something shifted. We started texting more. Just little things. Memes. Jokes. She even sent me a photo of her cat sitting in a laundry basket, judging her. I responded with a picture of a crib I'd just built, getting ready for the baby. She replied, "That's cute. Also weird." I laughed. She added, "Still not used to the idea that you're going to be a dad again." I replied, "Me neither, honestly." Then she texted, "Does that mean I'm, like, a big sister now?" I said, "You always will be. If you want to be." No reply. But the next day, she sent me a playlist titled Songs to Cry to in the Car. So progress. A week later, we had another lunch. This time, she hugged me when she walked in. And at the end of it, she finally said, "About the money. If it's still okay, I'd like the help." I smiled. It was always okay. We agreed that I'd pay tuition directly to the school when the time came, and she could focus on the rest. We didn't talk exact numbers or financial breakdowns. It wasn't about that. It was about restoring a promise and a bit of trust. She asked if she could be involved in the baby's life. I said, "You're his sister. That's not a role anyone else can fill." She said, "I'll try." And that's more than I ever thought I'd hear. So here we are. I don't know where our relationship will go from here. There's still pain, still healing to do. But we're talking. We're laughing again. And that wall between us, it's got cracks in it now. Light gets through. As for my ex-wife, I've accepted I'll never get an apology from her. I won't get the years back. I won't get the birthdays where my daughter thought I didn't care. I won't get the calls I never received, the gifts she never saw, the silence I thought was rejection. But I have today. I have a text from my daughter that says, "Hey, how's the crib building going?" And another one with a crying laughing emoji about her school cafeteria food. And I'll take that, because it means I still matter to her. And that's worth more than 80 grand any day.